Okay, welcome to everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 14th, November 14th, here at River City, Channel 18, PATV television studios with a fabulous staff helping out, and thank you very much. Thank you. And today, I think we're going to deal with a song of the heart from where we're at in our culture. We're going through a lot, people, and a lot of craziness and all that. But we're going to keep the center clean and pure and full of light. And so, in this particular session of GreenFire, we're going to exercise some of the demons of the election tide cycle, and we're going to go into a deeper cycle to transform that, via transformativa, shall we say. And all of us are part of the journey. That's the first thing we want to say. Sometimes we're feeling kind of alone out there or whatever. But come on in and sit back and enjoy the golden eternity of this GreenFire hour. Come around the electronic campfire of this GreenFire hour and let your hair down and open up a little bit and breathe and realize you're in good company. You're amongst friends, and friends are all that we need. Friends are good. Friends are beautiful. And love is all there is, and friends are all we need. And so here's a little affirmation for people out in California who are suffering from those forest fires that are just devastating, and all the people who have lost their lives along the way. We grieve the loss of the loved ones of people out in California, up in the northern California, and also in Southern California in Malibu. And all the homes that were lost and all the buildings that were lost. We feel and we're with you in kindred spirit way. And just know that meditation, positive healing energy is being sent out to you at this very moment. And I invite everyone to take a little time to send a little love energy out to the people in Northern California and California who are suffering these tremendous forest fires due to global warming, of course. And we just pray that this may change our ways so that we are more intelligent as sentient beings and more aware of our precious place on this planet Earth as it involves and invokes, and we invite even the bodhisattvas and all the sages and all the saints and all the loved ones who have departed to jump in there and help us out, because we're going through some tough times. So all these bodhisattvas and those who have passed on to the other side, jump on in and help us out. When we say we need help, we mean it. And sometimes it's okay to say, hey, I need help. And in that spirit, any veterans out there who are alone or are suffering depression or loneliness or alienation or isolation, prayers for you and a reaching out hand to you as loved ones as well. We love you just as you are. And for anyone who's living alone or who's isolated or living in nursing homes or in hospitals or in prisons or on death row, this love is for you. And know that we too, all of us, will get through this. We note that the times in which we are in are not being honored or respected. They're being trampled on by the White House with craziness and silliness and divergence and entertainment and all of that theater. And all of that is just not for entertainment, but to create confusion. And in order to, and the intent behind creating confusion is literally to control. Confusion is control. And if you remember that when things seem to be spinning off the edge and out of balance, somewhat like Koyana world out of balance, it's by intent to create confusion and thus control the population with fear and paranoia and any other feeling that comes up. So we're going to exorcise all those demons. We're going to wash them away here in the golden eternity of this GreenFire hour around this electronic campfire. So here's to Ethan out there who's at Cal Poly in Southern California. I told your mom, I'm wearing your hat. It says World Peace. This hat's for you, Ethan, and may peace prevail on earth in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. May peace prevail upon earth in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. And sometimes for us to have peace, we got to breathe peace. So let us breathe in peace, breathe in peace, breathe in peace. Breathe out love and breathe in peace. And breathe in love and breathe out peace. And breathe in peace and breathe out love. And breathe in love and breathe out peace. And as we remember those who have departed, this November is the month for remembering our loved ones and friends who have departed this plane and who are now in the other world, who have passed to the other world. November is the novena of November is a month-long prayer for those who have passed on. And so for those who have passed on, may peace prevail upon earth. May requiescat in pace to all those who have departed and passed on to the other world. May the perpetual light shine upon you, and may you rest in eternal peace. Requiescat in pace. May the eternal light shine upon you. May you rest in eternal peace. For two personal friends that have passed on in recent times, Tom Walls, Dr. Tom Walls, who started Uptown Bills and who brought Bill to Iowa City. Bill was won all kind of awards and was movie named Bill and won the Emmy Award. For Dr. Tom Walls and all the remarkable work that this remarkable man gave to this world. Requiescat in pace, dear Tom Walls. May the perpetual light shine upon you, and may you rest in eternal peace. You are greatly missed, sorely missed from loving friends and family. Dr. Tom Walls, requiescat in pace, dear friend. May the perpetual light shine upon you, dear brother, and may you rest in eternal peace. You are loved and missed by all. And for Brother Placid, who ran the orchard and up at New Melleray Abbey, and who was a monk for over 60 years, who recently passed on in the last 2 or 3 months, Brother Placid of New Melleray, what would be called a monk's monk. Dear Brother Placid, may the perpetual light shine upon you, and may you rest in eternal peace. And for Nora, who left this world way too soon, requiescat in pace. May the perpetual light shine upon you, and may you rest in eternal peace. And Brother Placid, who prayed 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, his entire life as a monk in New Melleray Abbey near Piasta, Iowa. Requiescat in pace, dear Brother Placid. May the perpetual light shine upon you, and may you rest in eternal peace. And so for everyone, again, loved ones and friends, and for all those dear departed, during this month of November. Requiescat in pace. May the perpetual light shine upon you, and may you rest in eternal peace. And in the golden eternity of this hour, we're going to perform a piece called This for That. It's kind of a given. When you do a wrong to someone, you have to right the wrong, so you have to give them something. It's not enough to apologize and say, I'm sorry. You have to make restoration. There has to be a this for that. You have to give something of value to restore the balance. And this is a teaching from many Native American people, but especially the Tlingit people of southeast Alaska in the Tongass National Forest. They have many ceremonies, and their whole life teaching is this for that. So that is the resonance. That's the name of this particular GreenFire hour, is this for that. Giveaway at the potlatch. Giveaway at the potlatch. So there's a big giveaway here. And as mentioned, we're going to exercise our demons, and through exercising our demons, rediscover some things about ourselves. And in this way, we begin with a piece just freshly written, a composition I just wrote called This for That at the potlatch, dedicated to the Tlingit people of the Tongass National Forest of southeast Alaska. And we come around these parts sometimes, and we come around these parts sometimes, and we come around these parts sometimes. Tectonic plates have shifted and reshifted again, making political landscape a tough place to skate. So we move on in the confusion of the idiot wind. So we move on in the confusion of the idiot wind of these times, bamboozling and scrambling and hoodwinking and confusing innocent minds. And these American states are in full-blown schizophrenia and amnesia. And the whole shithouse stinks to high heaven. And these American states are in full-blown schizophrenia and amnesia. And the whole shithouse stinks to high heaven, heaving away logged out memories from a blasted past in some mine shaft that didn't deliver the mother load, but was a mother of a load to carry up the rough side of the mountain. And we are all carrying a load, brother. And we are all carrying a load, brother. And we are not looking for the mother load. And we are not looking for the mother load in this life. We are carrying out our part on a galactic stage, not seen on the mean streets of any Babylon city on earth, where the girth of mirth is measured in millimeters. Yet, we are doing our best. We are doing our best. We are doing our best to move the planetary awareness a billionth of an inch or so. We are doing our best to move the planetary awareness a billionth of an inch or so. Yes, a billionth of an inch will do. So let's begin there. Yes, a billionth of an inch will do. So let's begin there and be grateful and thankful, whether or not we get that thing we hope for. So let's begin there and be grateful and thankful, whether or not we got that thing we hope for. Still being thankful is a key that sings a sweeter melody. Being thankful, yes, dear friends, being thankful is a key that sings a sweeter melody to thee and me. A key that sings a sweeter melody to thee and me. Ah, thou art that. Tat vam asi. Thou art that. Tat vam asi. Thou art that. We begin again with beginner's mind. Tat vam asi. This helps restore joy of the journey. This helps restore joy of the journey. And balance. This for that. Balance is this for that. Balance is this for that. Of the Tlingit clan. Balance of this for that. Of the Tlingit clan. Of the Sangus and Angoon and other holy totemized parts of Southeast in the great land. The great clan sings raven. The great clan sings eagle. The great clan sings bear. The great clan sings salmon. The great clan sings wolf. Woo! The great clan sings cedar. The great clan sings bear and raven and eagle and wolf and salmon and cedar through intermarriage, through the moieties together, and everything in balance. And everything in balance. This for that. This for that. This for that. In giveaways at the potlatch. This for that. In giveaways at the potlatch. And there are sacred things, and these are sacred things found only at the Longhouse. And these are sacred things at the Longhouse that no one speaks of. And these are sacred things at the Longhouse that no one speaks of, only does in the heart and innocence of the dove. And these are sacred things at the Longhouse that no one speaks of, only does in the forest, in the heart and innocence of the dove. And the Comforter in great mystery shines and smiles from above, singing, this holiest earth. And this is a key. Being thankful is a key that sings a sweeter melody to thee and thou and me. Ah, thou art that. We begin again with beginner's mind. We begin again with beginner's mind. Tat vam asi. This helps restore joy of the journey and balance. Of this for that. Of the Tlingit clan. Of the Sangus in Angoon and other holy totemized parts of Southeast. In the great land. In the great land, the great clan sings raven. In the great land, Alieska, the great clan sings raven. In the great land, Alieska, the great clan sings eagle. In the great land, Alieska, the great clan sings bear. In the great land, Alieska, the great clan sings salmon. In the great land, Alieska, the great clan sings wolf. In the great land, Alieska, the great clan sings cedar. Through intermarriage, keeping the moieties together and everything in balance. Keeping the moieties together and everything in balance. This for that. This for that. Tattvam asi. Thou art that. This for that. Thou art that. Tattvam asi. This for that. Tattvam asi. Thou art that. In giveaways at the potlatch. This for that. In giveaways at the potlatch. This for that. In giveaways at the potlatch. And these are sacred things. And these are sacred things at the longhouse. And these are sacred things at the longhouse that no one speaks of. That no one speaks of, only does. In the heart and innocence of the dove. And these are sacred things at the longhouse that no one speaks of, only does, in the heart and innocence of the dove. And the Comforter in the great mystery, and the Comforter in the great mystery shines and smiles from above. And the Comforter in the great mystery shines and smiles from above, singing, this holiest earth, this holiest earth, this holiest earth, this holiest earth, not man alone, not man apart. Restoring mirth on earth, restoring mirth on earth, and a little bit of love, and the whole thing shines. Not man alone, not man apart. Restoring mirth on earth, and a little bit of love, and the whole thing shines from the heart of the crown of creation. And the whole thing shines from the heart of the crown of creation. And the early morning candle vigil, and the early morning candle vigil, and the early morning candle vigil in the sacred deep still, and the early morning candle vigil in the sacred deep still has a center that holds. And the early morning candle vigil in the sacred deep still has a center that holds the whole world together. And the early morning candle vigil in the sacred deep still has a center that holds the whole world together in the intent of silence. In the intent of silence, here at the assemblage point, in the intent of silence, here at the assemblage point, in the center of the world, here at the assemblage point, in the center of the world. And this interconnectivity is interdependence. And this interconnectivity is interdependence and gives us sustenance. And this interdependence gives us sustenance. Holy Communion. Holy Communion for our sustainability. Holy Communion for our sustainability and self-sufficiency. Knowing the seasonal wheel well, knowing the seasonal wheel well, so that we can take cedar into the water near the coastline in springtime, so the herring can lay and cover them with eggs and fresh food in the fur of the cedar in early spring after a long winter. knowing the seasonal wheel well, so we can take cedar into the water near the coastline in southeast Alaska, Tongass National Forest, Tlingit clan land, so the herring can lay and cover them with eggs and fresh food in early spring after a long winter. This is a coming in and a coming out. This is a coming in and a coming out. This for that of the tide pool. This is a coming in and a coming out of the tide pool. And this is early ring, which brings resonance to our for Thanksgiving, which brings resonance to our reason for Thanksgiving and celebration. Knowing the seasonal wheel well, so that we can take cedar into the water near the coastline in southeast Alaska, Tongass National Forest, Tlingit clan, so the herring can lay and cover the fur with eggs and fresh food in early spring after a long winter. This is the coming in and the coming out of the tide pool. And this is early ring, which brings resonance to our reason for Thanksgiving and celebration. And we're always here, and we're always here at Half Moon Bay, and we're always here at Half Moon Bay. Does anyone see us here at Half Moon Bay? Does anyone see us here at Half Moon Bay? And we're always here at Half Moon Bay. Does anyone see us? Does anyone care? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Our ancestors see us. Our ancestors and those who have passed over to the other worlds see us and pray for us and dance with us and help us. High up in the fog rolling in off the high mountains, high up in the fog rolling in off the high mountains and rolling in off the tides, and in the mists on the path, and in the mists on the path we tread in the cedar way, rolling bare feet in the early morning dew, rolling bare feet in the early morning dew, rolling bare feet in the early morning dew. And we are grateful, and we are grateful, and we are grateful for these little things, for these little things, for these little things are the things that see us through. And we breathe. We breathe in love, and we breathe out peace. And we breathe in peace, and we breathe out love. And we breathe in love, and we breathe out peace. And we breathe, and we breathe, and we breathe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all that there is. Thank you for all there is. Thank you, Great Spirit, O great Comforter, O cloud of unknowing. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that there is. Ah, Vitakwiyasan. Aho. So this is a little piece I wrote coming into a little understanding after a time or period of interlude of unfeeling. Just call it the Dolorosa, or you could call it where the winds, certain kind of winds go out there. On those winds where the dolors are, the Dolorosa winds. And coming in out of those winds, this is a deeper anchorage in Alaska. And in the Alaska in our heart, here in high Himalaya. Here in high Himalaya, there's a deeper anchorage in Alaska. In the southeast, in Angoon, Tongass National Forest, Tlingit Clan. That is this for that at the potlatch. And we give great gratitude, and we give gratitude. Here, gratitude lifts our attitude, puts some latitude in our attitude, which gives us altitude. Gratitude puts some latitude in our attitude, which gives us altitude, which prepares us to hit orbit and fly. With a little bit of gratitude, we put some latitude in our attitude, and we reach altitude, and then hit orbit so we can fly. And you have these different kind of winds. The prevailing westerlies, the great north wind, and you have these Dolorosa winds where nothing just seems to happen. And in etudes of that, we just keep moving on through. We just keep moving on through, and our sails will catch the wind, and we'll set sail and fly right. And those are the primarily the westerlies. The prevailing winds are the westerlies. Sometimes we get an eastern wind, which is really rare. And then we get winds from the south, which we're really grateful for. And sometimes a Chinook wind. These are the happy winds, the good winds. And we'll just stay with that. So that's a this for that at the potlatch. And we have great poets who have come our way. And here is a poet who wrote just a little haiku. Silent wings slowly. Silent wings slowly. Low above the waters of a misty morning lake. Silent wings slowly. Low above waters of a misty morning lake. Teaching me tranquility. Ah, the beauty way. Silent wings slowly, low above waters of a misty morning lake, teaching me tranquility. Jennifer Hahn says, I remember paddling in the Baja through some perfectly smooth jade green water. On the bottom were sea cucumbers, rock scallops, some beautiful seaweeds. Everybody started to go very slow. Everybody started to go very slow. We had been paddling hard, but everybody slowed down and just started looking. And here, dear friends, in the electronic campfire of this GreenFire Golden Eternity Hour, I invite everyone to slow down and just start looking. Slow down and just start looking. After about 15 minutes of quiet, we picked up our paddles and started paddling again. After about 15 minutes of quiet, we picked up our paddles and started paddling again. There was so much power in that silence that the next day we did the whole day without talking. There was so much power in that silence that the next day we did the whole day without talking. In silence, there's a lot more access, I think, to the spirit, to spirituality, to the soul. I remember paddling in the Baja through some perfectly smooth jade green water. On the bottom were sea cucumbers, rock scallops, some beautiful seaweeds. Everything started to go very slow. We had been paddling hard, but everything slowed down and everyone just slowed down and just started looking. After about 15 minutes of quiet, we picked up our paddles and started paddling again. There was so much power in that silence that the next day we did the whole thing without talking. In silence, there's a lot more access, I think, to the spirit, to spirituality, to the soul. Paddling in the Baja. Satish Kumar says, love is the fruit of beauty. When you see a beautiful tree, you fall in love. Ah, beautiful flowers, the bluebells, the primroses. Beauty enters the heart and creates love. That is why in the world today we lack love, because there is less and less beauty in our everyday lives. Whenever you make something with love, you feel humbled. You could not make such beautiful things on your own. It must come through divine inspiration. In that way, beauty and humility go together. It is an act of surrender to the divine source. The divine inspiration uses your body, your hands, and your talents as a channel for beauty. Whether it is a Henry Moore sculpture or a painting by Van Gogh or some beautiful peasant house in rural Vermont or beautiful shoes made in Rajasthan. Therefore, beauty is a source of spiritual healing. Beauty is a source of spiritual healing. For me, beauty is the essence of our being, the soul of our being. That is Satish Kumar. Says, love is the fruit of beauty. And in the sense that love is the fruit of our beauty, love is the fruit of our beauty, that is Tattvam Asi. Thou art that. Thou art that. Tattvam Asi. Thou art that. In honor of another loved one who's passed on and remembered in this November of Novena of November, Steve Fox, who is a great soul who did high Zen tea meditation. A great soul, Requiescat in Pace, dear Steve Fox. May the perpetual light shine upon you. May you rest in eternal peace. And in that sense, Walt Whitman says, the world is rude, silent, incomprehensible at first, Nature is incomprehensible at first. Be not discouraged. Keep on. There are divine things well enveloped. I swear to you, there are divine beings more beautiful than words can tell. And if we invite and invoke these divine beings, of those who have passed on, and the bodhisattvas, the sages, the rishis, the roshis, the gurus, the satgurus, the saints, the martyrs, those who have passed on, this is what Walt Whitman is talking about. This is what Walt Whitman is talking about. I swear to you, and we invite and invoke these bodhisattvas into our presence. So we're going vertical. There are many levels of reality above just the physical plane. There are many levels of heaven right here on earth. And that's what Walt Whitman is saying. I swear to you, there are divine beings more beautiful than words can tell. And we're going now into a trilogy of the last three pieces that were shared together here. And as mentioned in the last piece, the tectonic plates have shifted a little bit. The tectonic plates have shifted a little bit so that a lot of people don't know what ground they're standing on, because it's all been shaken up. Well, we're going to revisit the last three, the triptych of the last three pieces, and see if we can find and discern something deeper, to find that the center holds. It's called Heart Song for a Dark Night. Recede into the forest deep. Get your fillip of air here. So mote it be. We are here at the veils between the worlds, as they are opening deep for the Samhain, this All Hallows Eve, and spiral dance is all there is. And as it ever was, and as it ever shall be, here at the veil becoming thinner, becoming lifted, to welcome in ancestor spirits from the other world, the other she, the other side, for a day of the dead, for the day of the dancing of the dead. A celebration and welcoming in holy day, holding this cup of this day for the golden eternity of an hour. To drink deep from this chalice well, and bid all our loved ones, our dear beloved departed, wishing them well, in a via transformativa feast. And those winds where there's a feeling of stuckness are known as the doldrums. The doldrums. Those are the actual, they're in the doldrums. Those are winds, the doldrum winds. There's no wind at all. So we're picking up the wind here, even in the doldrums. And from this chalice well, and bid all our loved ones, our dear beloved departed, wishing them well, in a via transformativa feast, to feed, feel, and sup with them this holy day, while they walk and move amongst us on this holiest earth. Here at the turning of the seasonal wheel, at the end of the year, inviting them in to help us, the helpless, the driftless, to help us with the end of fear, to help us with the end of hate, to help us with the end of uncaring, to help us with the end of scarcity and poverty, to help us in this atonement, to welcome the joy of their journey, to welcome the joy of their lives, in totality, in eternity, to thank them for the joy of their journey, the joy of them being truly them, the joy of their lives being truly them, as they trod and walked this holiest earth, the joy of their gifts being truly the gift of their lives, so they could remember us, so they could feed and clothe us, So their sacrifices and ordeals could become the very fabric of the clothing we wear. And so their sacrifices and ordeals could become the very fabric of star stuff that wove and weave the fabric of our lives into a daily whole. Holy the firm, holy the firm, holy the firmament they gave us to walk in our kinder years. In their tall forests reaching over us, they're arcing over us, over our heads. As they provided the shade as we daily walked our early kinder path, our early earth path, into a cooler glade. Holy the firm, they were there in the kinder years. Yes, there were tears, yet also there were whispers of loving kindness to share with our many sisters and brothers, and also our fellow men and women. These were the grounding years, and also the shape-shifting years of our magical childhood, where fairies and gnomes and elves and leprechauns leaped out of emerald green and still dwell amidst Merlin's spring green wizard spell. And the round table was our Sunday afternoon dinner of pure love and high delight, with all 12 of us merry folk, merry boys and merry girls, in amen chorus of this seasonal swirl before we all ran out for a magical whirl, splashing and dancing and playing in the autumn leaves, spinning and spinning and spinning, whirling and whirling and whirling in this spiral dance. This spiral dance is the dance of all that there is. This spiral dance is the dance of all that there is. This spiral dance is the dance of all that there is. Bhavanam kevalam. Bhavanam kevalam. Bhavanam kevalam. This dance of life, tat vam asi. This dance of life, tat vam asi. Om Namaha Shivaya. Om Namaha Shivaya. Om Namaha Shivaya. And our grandparent ancestors proceed from the heavens. And our grandparent ancestors proceed from the heavens in this sacred dance of the thinning of the veils. And they take their royal places, seated at the head of the round table. Next come our beloved parents, taking their seats. Then our beloved dear departed brothers, Pat and Denny, taking their venerated seats. Amidst the feasting and merry music, then our beloved grandparents sing in harmonium accord, all is well, all is well, all is well. We all break bread together and enjoy the beauty and pleasure of one another's company before high tea and apple crisp is served in harvest delight here at the sacred turning of the seasonal wheel of the chalice well of the deep. In mirth, merriment, reverence, and loving kindness, they say, care for the least of these, care for the least of these, care for the least of these, as they rise up slowly, slowly, slowly in wonder. And the veils are wide open now, and the veils are wide open now, as we greet them, and we greet them and in deep, 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 deepest love. And we sing, fare thee well, at the closing up of the veils. And we sing, fare thee well at the closing up of the veils. So mote it be, merry be, amen, aho. That's heart song for a dark night. The second part of the trilogy, Lovers in a Dangerous Time. We are here. It is cloudy. Something's blowing in with a little patch of blue. It's 37 degrees. All the students are bundled up. Yep, on October 3rd, it was a record high, 93 degrees. And a month later, November 10th, it was a record low, 10 degrees. 83-degree drop in 1 month. In this particular, it's 37 degrees and all the students are bundled up. I got blessed by the CAM bus, Hawkeye Express. Got blessed by the CAM bus, Hawkeye Express. Espresso yourself. Just returned from New Melleray. Did an honoring ceremony and voted last night. November 6th at the Czech National Museum Castle. Glistening candelabra was smiling brightly after I stepped out of the voters' booth. Afterward, in a thumbs-up brilliance. Afterward, in thumbs-up brilliance. Setting the tone in stone for this change of season. Setting the tone in stone for this change of season. Holy the firm, from New Melleray stone room to Czech Castle throne room. Ah, all part of re-entry. And there is no fee, dear friend, only your goodwill, only your goodwill. Most of the leaves are blown clean off the trees by 2 swirling all-day wind gales in late October and this early November. Lights have dimmed down to the great locking level. Lights have dimmed down to the great locking level, swirling in from the north currents of Gitchigumi to the gloomy Great Lakes and upper Midwest, singing, coming to rest for the season. Lights have dimmed down to the great locking level, swirling in from the north currents of Gitchigumi to gloomy Great Lakes and upper Midwest, coming to rest for the season after celebration of the dead at the thinning of the veils and the great turning of the seasonal wheel. And this whole thing has a moment and a meaningful reason. As man begins to find a meaning which does not appear on any charts and cannot be found or defined in any digital world, it is much deeper than that. It is much deeper than that. It is hidden away as a stowaway in the lower steerage of the stone room. And these are dangerous times. And these are dangerous times. They have been dangerous times for some time. Planetary mind is going through a complete breakthrough, a complete break from the past, including the glacial ice age. There are no heroes in this, only pilgrims picking up other pilgrims along the way. And each day is a foray as we romance our sensory field. And each day is a foray as we romance our sensory perceptions into a deeper precession. Major arcana is hidden deep in inner ionized, deep mind sky, slowly unfolding just about now. Must be some kind of beauty, some kind of ecstasy, where we begin to see with a third eye smile that is inside the unspoken mile in our walk of the deep. Some kind of ecstasy is taken hold in a deep part of the inland sea inside of me, granted free as a grace from the hidden place and a hidden space by the Comforter in the cloud of unknowing. Smiling inward by the sun and the green, our inner Agartha of Shambhala, here in high Himalaya, Indian Sea, most of the unreported, totally forgotten, are huddled up here. Here there is no fear in this hidden inner isle of Innisfree, and these are dangerous times where the swales of Gitchigumi begin rising higher and higher. The swales of Gitchigumi begin rising higher and higher, slapping waves on Presque Isle, Rocky Mount outcropping, and these things seem to last forever. Yet they splash away in a wave that changes time and descent, and these are dangerous times. We set our mind, we set our intent right here, right now, with a loving smile in the next step we take. We set our intent, we set our brow, we set our jaw, we set our sight, and step off into the unknown of now, the Tao of Tatvamasi. All banners unfurled, all flags flying as we set sail out into unknown sea, beyond infirmity, beyond uncertainty, with a certainty that surpasseth all understanding. And to embrace this is the beginning of the race, the crown of creation, of the hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. This is the extreme path of the dance of all that there is. Let's embrace this with a lover's kiss. For is there nothing more sublime than us being lovers in dangerous times? With this, we are off and away, where no one can say or see, me be in you and you be in me, singing, dancing, splashing away in the seas of eternity. Mary be, aho. Trilogy 3, this for that at the potlatch. This for that at the potlatch. And so on this we begin again. And we begin to move planetary awareness a billionth of an inch or so. Yes, a billionth of an inch will do. So let's begin there and be grateful. And then begin being thankful, whether or not we got that thing we hoped for, still being thankful. Still being thankful is a key that sings a sweeter melody to thee and thou and me. Ah, thou art that, Tatvamasi. And we begin again with beginner's mind, Tatvamasi, the joy of the journey and balance. Balance. And this joy of the journey, and for those who have passed over to the other world, let us see us and ask them to pray for us and dance with us and help us. High up in the fog rolling in off the high mountains and rolling in off the tides, both coming in and coming out. And in the mists on the path we tread in the cedar way, rolling barefoot in the early morning dew. And we are grateful for these little things. For these little things we are grateful. And the things that see us through. And we breathe, and we breathe, and we breathe. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. With a little bit of gratitude, we put some latitude in our attitude and reach altitude. And from there we hit orbit. And from there we hit orbit and we begin to fly. And so with beginner's mind, dear friends, may this be a blessing to you and yours. And may you begin to fly in the golden eternity of this green hour. May this be a blessing to all of us, one and all. And peace to you and yours. This for that in the Tlingit clan. Peace.